Hello Blueies, welcome to our new segment called Rage Trade Thursdays. I wanted to do a bit of a Supercoach special every week on a Thursday just to look at the teams, look at the changes to my team and see if you've got any questions or what have you. At the moment I'm doing this as a recorded piece. I'm not quite sure yet how to do a screen share to either Facebook or to YouTube to be able to allow comments, but I'll answer comments after I put this up. As you can see there's my team. There's probably a couple of things that I'll change. I've already gone through 4 trades already, as you can see. I think it's imperative before round 3 kicks around that you do 2 trades every week if your team is not 100% perfect, because otherwise the prices change and then you're in a whole world of shite. So most important thing is I want to have a look at game day and who I'm playing at Carlton live. I'm playing Rise Apple 15. Rise Apple 15. Who is that? Ryan. Alright. It's currently got me on the graph as, geez, it's going to be very, very, very close. My team hasn't had the greatest start. I'm in the top 20% of the league. I like to be inside the top 10% this stage of the year. There was one stage probably probably going back 10 years where I was number 19 after this stage of the year in the whole comp. Those days are long gone. This is a kind of game where you have to have everything going right all of the time, particularly now. Back then 10 years ago there was no information around. Supercoach was very much there was a lot of surprises. There was a lot of things that you could get right, you get wrong. Now you have to be 100% perfect pretty much to be up there, which my team is very, very far from. So Rise Apple, I'm going to have a look today at how I can get my score up to beat you. Liberatore versus Dunkley, very, very happy with that. Dunkley hasn't started well at all, and Libba has gone off the charts. English is really my Achilles heel at the moment. I was given that he was going to get the number 1 ruck duties, I thought he was going to score a lot heavier than what he has, and my whole strategy was around treat him like an upgrade, like you do in the midfield. So get him to get his price up, and then do a very, very inexpensive upgrade to a decent ruckman, if you like. Up against Lockie Whitfield. Yeah, Lockie Whitfield has been on fire this year so far, so definitely going to lose there. Jack McRae as a captain versus Matty Crouch as a captain. Yeah, look, I'm pretty happy with that. Matty Crouch is okay. He started off very, very well. I reckon I've got that one right. So then you look at Setterfield versus Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt's been okay. Setterfield has started a lot slower than what I would have thought. I may even look at putting him on the bench, and I'll show that move in a minute. But yeah, look at Setterfield. We've got to remember he's only 5 games into his career now. I think maybe this is his 6th. So he's got a long way to go. But he will start scoring and scoring heavily. Plus the thing is, everyone's got him. I'm surprised that my opponent here doesn't have him. Also surprised that he doesn't have Cripps. Well, that's, yeah, okay. Am I actually dealing with a Carlton supporter here? Alright. Very good. Menegola, it was a toss-up for me between Menegola and Kelly, and for the moment I've got that wrong. Kelly's tracking about 110, Menegola's about 93, but Menegola's coming off an injury. He's probably got a hell of a lot more upside in him. So I'm going to keep him in the team for the moment. Against Zach Butters, yeah, that's pretty easy. I should win that. Rockcliffe versus Rockcliffe. Yeah, okay. It's a very strange app sometimes. Rose versus Goldstein. Well, Goldstein goes against English, and Ryan's definitely got me there. So let's say it's Rosie versus Whitfield. Yeah, he's still got me there. Although Rosie's playing exceptionally well at the moment. Cripps versus Walsh. Well, it was pretty close last week, wasn't it? And Cousins versus Parker. I'd have Cousins over Parker every day of the week. Cousins plays a lot more midfield. Parker, yeah, he's started off well in the first 2 weeks, really trailed off last week. I just wonder if that sort of trend will continue. And Hawthorn being against St Kilda, and see Cousins and also Warple down the bottom here as really scoring some big time. So let's go back to my team. Starting with the back line, Lloyd was just a lock, even at his price. Look at what he's tracking at. I ended up going with Zach Williams over Whitfield. That was more to get depth within my back line. Even though I thought Whitfield was going to score higher, it meant that I could get depth in terms of, get Brodie Smith in, get Darcy Moore in, and sort of play the game that way. It also meant that I could go a little bit deeper in the midfield, which I'll come to in a minute. So I'm pretty happy there with Zach Williams and Brodie Smith. Brodie Smith needs to pick up a bit, start getting some runs on the board, so I can either keep him as probably the 6th by the end of the season or trade him out. Scrimshaw and Clark, they're going along okay. They'll make a bit of money. Might be traded for Marty Hoare. I traded out Marty Hoare. It's shambles to see him back in so quickly. That might stuff my strategy up there. McRae as captain, I'm happy with. Cripps, I'm happy with. Cornelio only had one bad week. He's doing a lot better than 102, so I'm very happy with him there. Brayshaw at 107, he even had one bad week in that, so I'm very happy the way he's tracking, even though almost everyone jumped off him. Rockcliffe, one bad week from concussion. Just happened to be the week that I got him in. I didn't start with him because I just didn't think he had it in him to get above that price. I was drastically wrong there, so I got him in last week, and that's what he did to me. Libba, I was always careful about, but I had him in from the start, so very, very happy the way he's tracking. I plan with Libba and Rockcliffe that they will just burst their price up so quickly that it'll just be an easy trade for someone who's a bit more durable. So I would see them traded very, very quickly, but almost a 1-for-1 instead of having to trade down, make a bit of money and trade them up. It would almost be a 1-for-1 there. Cousins, Constable. Cousins will start doing better. Constable started off as a ripper. Really happy with that pick. And at the moment, I'm actually going to trade Cousins for... No, I'm not going to trade him. That's rubbish. Yeah, go away. I might sub him for Walsh. Walsh was just fantastic last week, and I can't see that changing. He's just going to get better and better and better. Butters is playing well. Gibbons is, I think he will get dropped, so I'll probably end up trading him this week. Ruck is where it's really shitting me. I haven't got this right at all. I've got Gawn in. He was probably a lock. English, like I said before, travelling at 59.3, that's not going to increase his price at all. So I maybe need to start doing something with him. And Darcy Fort he was apparently in the frame to take the number one ruck duties at Geelong, and he hasn't even played. He's one worth looking out for as well, particularly if Zach Clark. And I haven't seen this. If Zach Clark continues to play at Essendon, that is a really good one to trade him for, and he's at centre half forward, so that might be one to look at. Forward line, Dangerfield, well, everyone's got him. Menengola, like I said, that was one I'm happy with. Isaac Heaney, I think everyone wanted to get rid of him. I knew up against Carlton he would have a big game and get his price back up, so I was happy to keep him. Just want to see how he tracks over the next couple of weeks, see if I need to trade him. Warple's been good. Drew, I had him off the field last week and he got 100 and something. Put him on the field and he gets 36. That's the type of game this is. Instead of Field, yeah, happy to keep him there. Parker and Burgess, yeah, I'm not so sure about those two, but I'm not sure that there's any good players to swap them for. So, like Chris de Burgess, let's have a look at Chris de Burgess, just for shits and giggles. Let's see what if you were to trade him. Let's sort it by price. You know why it doesn't do that automatically, but this app is getting worse and worse and worse every year. There was a stage about 10 years ago where it was actually user friendly. Now it's just dreadful. But you can't put brains in statues. Yeah, no, I wouldn't put Jack in. Only travelling at 52. Chris de Burgess at 44. Yeah, so you'd burn 11 grand. Not happy with burning 11 grand. Yeah, not going to put Ryan in. Parker I've got. Blake, he hasn't really set the world on fire. Jack Lukosius definitely hasn't set the world on fire. And then you're looking at, yeah, William Drew already got him. There's really no one else to put in there, so it's almost like you've got to sit on those, even though they're not quite performing the way they should have. Will Powell was a good one. If you had got on him early, that would have been a great one to get. Connor Rose I've got, so I might do something a little bit tricky in terms of trying to get my balance right. Tom McCartan, yeah, a bit of a spud, but let's see how we go. So I'm going to cancel that. Yeah, leave. Piss off. Right, so Rosie, one of the reasons that I had him from the start was because of his dual position. Same with Chris de Burgess. So I'm going to sub those two. I might actually get Setterfield out and put Rhodes in. Travelling a lot better in terms of average. Drew versus Parker. Yeah, I'm happy to keep Drew in there at the moment. Now, the other two, yeah, I'm going to get rid of him. Not travelling well. Scrimshaw, Clark, yeah, we'll take a pick. We'll put Scrimshaw in. He's been playing some okay footy, but just okay. Okay, so the biggest problem that I've got at the moment is ruck. It's just not firing for me. So I'm wondering even if I downgrade him to Zach Clark, get some money, and upgrade someone. Yes. Very interesting one. Probably won't give that away just yet because Ryan's probably watching this, but that's a potential option. If I have a look at that now, you go right down to Zach Clark. He'll be right at the bottom of the pack. Riley O'Brien. That's an interesting one. That's a new one for me. And Zach Clark at 142. You know what? I could easily just go Zach Clark, Riley O'Brien for Ford and Spud. You know what? It's got some Roger Merritt. Mumford's not a bad deal either. Some decent options here. As you get higher and higher in price, no one's really taking it on. Ben McAvoy, that's some good numbers. Brody Grundy, everyone's got to have him by the end of the season, but you just keep watching that figure right there and then trade up when you need to. Yeah, a bit disappointed with Westhoff. I thought he would have gone a bit better. Almost picked him, actually, to be honest. Jared Witts has been okay. I really would have liked Cruiser in against him, but hasn't worked. Lysett had one good week, and that was against us. Damn it. Yeah. Well, I think I'm almost onto something here. I could almost shore up my ruck division. A lot better than the rubbish that it is at the moment anyway. Get rid of Spud Lips. Bring on one of these two. The sauce thickens. Let's see if Riley O'Brien's actually playing. And also the question mark is whether he will continue to play as well. Alright, so he's currently playing. And lead ruck, wow, okay. Definitely worth thinking about, especially as a bench option. Zach Clark, I'm not sure if he'll keep on playing. Okay. Alright. That's for me to have a look at. Now, Gibbons, can we trade you for anyone? Just going through the mids, Lockie Neal, man, I had him right from the start and right to the death. I got rid of him because he didn't have a great pre-season. Brayshaw did have a great pre-season, but also putting Brayshaw in gave me a bit of cash to get Libba in. So I might have won that battle, but geez, I'd love to have him now. Have a look at those numbers, 148, crazy stuff. Bond, it's good to see him back. Ben Cunnington, Rory Sloane, Dom Sheed's a good footballer, Matt Crouch, but Ben Cunnington, Rory Sloane, Matt Crouch, I couldn't do that to myself. Ricky Henderson, that's some good numbers. Kennedy's always a gun. Fife, yeah, he's only gone down because of that head knock. Hopper, yeah, we tried at Carlton to get him. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't come across. We might try again this year, I think. Kelly's a bit of a problem for me. Treloar, thought he would go a bit better as well. Brad Crouch, no one can do that to themselves. How many people have got him? 27.8, Jesus. Yeah, he's just an accident waiting to happen. Dylan still, yeah, not doing so well. Oliver's not doing anywhere near what I thought he would. I had him right to the death too, and I traded him out. And then we go down to the arse end. See if we get if it's possible to trade for Gibbo. I don't think he'll play this week. So if I make this trade, it will be tomorrow when I actually see the final teams for Carlton. About this time tomorrow. Oh, jeez, can you just whack it in price for me? I've already done that. God, I hate this app. There's just absolutely nothing about it that is user friendly. Sydney Stack, didn't he get dropped? He did not get dropped. Alright, Sydney Stacks for next week. Have a good look at him as a midfielder. That could definitely be one. Just going through. Gibbons hasn't done anywhere near what he should have. Corey Wagner, not a bad option, but you'd still look to Sydney Stack next week. Tom Atkins, geez, he hasn't performed as well as anyone thought he would as well. 33.7% of people have got him in. Only at 48s, yeah, that's not great. Bailey Scott, just dropped. That's crazy from North Melbourne, but that's up to them. Well, Setterfield, everyone's got him. Not really great options here. Once you start getting up into the big dollars, I can't afford that anyway. So I might keep my trade. There's no need really to get rid of Gibbo this week, but next week I reckon that's my trade, is Gibbo for Sydney Stack. Already he's probably got more points, and after one game got more than Gibbo after 3 games. So he's obviously going to rise a lot quicker if he continues to play and plays his 3 games. So that will happen next week. So here's what I'm intending on doing. I'm going to trade English. And I'm going to bring in bring in the big fella. Guess what? It hasn't done. Hasn't done what I want to do again. Useless app. Useless. Alright. Might be a bit premature that I've done that, but I need to shore up this ruck line very, very quickly. You know what? I might do the double. And I might get 4 out. Even though it's only a week in. You've got this bloke tearing it up. I might bring him in. So I think that's just about used up. Well, it's used up a lot of my money, but you've got a little bit of backup there. Just make sure that Mumford hasn't sputtered it up and gone out of the team. I'm sure he'll be playing. Yeah, he's good as gold. If he keeps on that, his price will go up significantly. So it's a bit of a risk I'm taking, but English is not getting the job done. But I thought he would, and Mumford might be that player that I need to rise in value and then trade him out later. So that is going to be my complete trades. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. So that's what I've done. Hopefully that's enough to get over the line. And that's enough for this week. I'll see you next week on Thursday.